we got another special guest coming on to the show, BlackListed Mx. We got Steve Shore, Compound 138. Man, how you doing today, Steve?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, just enjoying myself as best I can right now. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to have you on the airlines, man. We talked about this for a while. We kind of, seen each other at the track, spoke a little bit here and there, man. But I finally got you on the airways, and it's a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for reaching out.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime. So let's get into this conversation, man, about moto. You got a lot of history in moto. You're 32 years young. Am I correct with that?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you're 32 years young. You're a pro, man. But what age did you turn pro, Steve?
So I turned pro at 18. I raced my first national. Didn't start riding until I was 12. Yeah. So
Okay, so you got a little bit of a late start into moto. What got your kick start into moto at 12?
I always wanted a dirt bike and just loved watching riding and all the videos and yeah, just stuff like that. So just always wanted a bike.
So, who put you on the starting line, man, for you to actually get a late start, and then you kind of went through the ranks and you turned pro at 18, which really didn't take you that long to turn pro, if you really think about it, man. These guys are getting started at 3, right? Not really at 12. And
Yeah.
you finally turned pro. When you turned pro, were you doing I take it back then was a CMRC rather than a Triple Crown.
Yeah, it was CMRC. Yeah, it was 2018, I think it was.
Okay.
Or 2008, sorry, the my first national. Yeah.
Okay, so were you running you just ran a couple nationals here? You didn't follow the circuit or anything like that. You just ran, some local stuff.
Yeah, I raced intermediate that year, which was my first year intermediate, and then raced Go for National. Actually, was my first one I did.
Okay.
So and
Uh,
then the year I did the East Coast.
okay. Oh, okay. So every time I see you, man, you're 32 years old. You're still pro, but you're ripping a 125, dude. You stayed pretty consistent racing. You get hurt, that's all in the mix, but you're fairly consistent racing, but you're always ripping the 125. Why is that?
Just for fun, just because I don't do the nationals anymore. Yeah, I took a break from that. Had to work, make a living, started a couple businesses, and then now I really can enjoy doing this as well, training the kids now. So uh, yeah, just kind of helps slow it down a little bit, makes it a little bit more fun. Run some of the age classes instead of the nationals. So
Okay, and how many years did you actually run some of the nationals after you turned 18?
I went from about 2008, which was the first one, but from then on, so 19 to 21
Oh, okay.
here and there. 2011, sorry, 19. Why do I keep saying that? Oh nine to 11
Mhm.
were my competitive years. So yeah, that was the last full year I did. The most I could do was the East Coast in 2011. So on Cowie.
Okay, so now you're what got you to switch over, man? Because you're strictly Yamaha now. Everything's Yamaha with you. A lot of your riders are Yamahas. How come Yamaha?
Well, we actually, I wasn't a huge, I wouldn't say fan, but I wasn't all in on any color really that much. Then we got hooked up with Southwest, which is through Yamaha Canada. So we tested the bikes and everybody likes the bikes. So we made the switch and we're definitely glad we did. That's for sure. They're reliable.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they're really growing on me actually. So yeah, that's how it all happened.
Right on. Now, when you jumped into the Nationals and you started riding the Nationals early on, were you always on a 125, or did you spend some time riding the 250 to 450, or was it just strictly the two strokes?
Yeah, no, I was always on a 250F. I actually got my first bike was a two-stroke YZ85, and then I had a KTM 85 or a RM 85, then a KTM 85, and like I said, I did it all kind of on my own as much as I could. So I rode 85 till I was like 16, and then I got a RMZ 250F. So yeah, and then I rode the four strokes all the way pretty much till 2011. I had or a YZ 250 in between. The one year I just kind of raced when I could, I was working lots. And then yeah, was four strokes, and then I just now that I kind of want to chill back a little bit and have some more fun, I got two strokes. So I got a new 250 stroke now.
All right, you're riding. Oh, so you got a new 252 stroke now. You off the 125?
Yeah, got rid of that and got a new 250 22 from Southwest there. So,
Nice, nice. That'll be interesting to see you rip around on the 250 now, man.
oh yeah,
Every time I see you, man, from the moment I met you, you were hurt to the to every race that I seen you at. I mean, I went to shake your hand one time and I accidentally pulled on your shoulder and you had a shoulder injury. I didn't even know it. And you're like, "Oh, my shoulder, my shoulder." Man, you're getting broke off quite a bit, man. What's the reasoning behind all that?
yeah. Actually, more in the last 3 years than I have my whole career. So, just not prepared enough, right? Like I had the injury last year pretty bad in Florida. Um, I've already had my knees done prior to, but that kind of threw me off. I had a lot done to me, my back, my neck,
Damn.
and blew my ACL out again. So I just, which I never got surgery on. I'm just gonna wait a few years now, but I just never got prepared enough to really take the time, get back on the bike, put some hours on. I'd always just, show up, race. Usually do pretty damn good, and then I'm always training the kids too, right? But I mean, I stay pretty fit, um, I stretch a lot and stuff like that, but just on the bike, not enough hours at all. I think I rode like 11 hours last year. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I need to take some time, get on the bike, and then get back racing.
Yeah, you got that 250 now, man. You don't want to keep getting injured on that thing, man. You just want to make sure your body's completely healed. You're stretching like on a normal basis, man. Pretty flexible, and then get out there and have some more fun, man. Definitely.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, so I always talk about giving back. I have many episodes where I talked about giving back into the community, giving back into moto, and you created an elite training facility, Compound 138. How did that compound come about, and why?
Well, that's going back. Well, I enjoy it. That's for sure. It's always what I wanted to do. Just could never find a way to get it done, and still support my family and you know do normal life things. So, actually, back in 2011, when I hurt the reason I retired kind of or quit doing the nationals was I did my ACL, so I had to go get something figured out. Go out west to the oil rigs is what I ended up doing. Worked that for about 3 years, but in between that stage, I was trying to get the facility going here as well, but I couldn't pull it off. So um, I kept working, and then did the detailing shop, which I still have going big time. We got some good guys out there working, and then started the moto sports shop a couple years ago. I started the detail shop in 2014, and then finally I got things rocking. As good as they can be right now, anyway. And then I'm like, well, let's still go after the whole facility deal. So I went after Scott Payton, who been training me for a long time, since about 2006, in the gym, and he's had a gym, and he's successful with a lot of, professional athletes, which still train with him today. Lots of hockey players, IFL fighters. He does it all. So he was aboard. He actually moved his gym out on site. We built a new gym last winter. Uh, Vision Built did a lot of the work for all our tracks, got them all built up, and we have a couple tracks, 3 tracks right now, and then it's all one on the same site. So gym's here with a trainer, got the race shop here, got everything going. So it's coming around. We still have lots of work to do. I'm not near done yet, but we're gonna keep picking away at it.
Right on, right on. From what I see, man, it looks like an awesome place. So you're training guys on and off the bike, right? So you got the
Yeah,
whole gym set up. I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, right, absolutely, yeah, all right within the same program, yeah.
So is the training split up where one day you guys do riding and you do indoor, or do you guys do a little bit of both? You kind of do some cardio warming up and then you guys hit the track. How's your program set up?
Yeah, basically, you get up. The guys on their own can warm up, stretch. Then we're on the track at 10 a.m. until 2:30, depending, when the last moto ends up or last section or whatever we're doing that day. But try to stay in with that time frame. And then they're at the gym at 4 o'clock. Do a full body workout, and it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then they get ready for, the next day, do it again. But, or if it's, race weekend, we train Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, take off to the races Friday, back on, Monday night and get the day off and kind of Friday as a rest day. And, they're just, other than that, they're pretty much putting in the work. So,
Okay. Now, how does your training facility work in the wintertime? Because things start to slow down here. Of course, you get a lot of bit of snow. Of course, you're probably not spending any time on the track. Do you guys train indoors within the off season as well, or everybody just kind of does their own thing, then comes back during the spring?
yeah, so our elite riders, they some of them stay in contact with Peyton, depending where everybody's come from. People come from a few hours away sometimes or more, but most of the full time guys are not too far away. But some of the elite riders, they still train with Scott in the gym, um, 2-3 times a week, and then obviously do their own thing aside from that. Along with a lot of the other riders, they're always we're shooting them workouts, which Peyton, he's all in on that too. He sends them to me, and then we kind of give a little program to our guys. Some of us go south. And kind of stay on the bike. And we down south, we do the full, like it's just myself there, but with the riders. So we run a couple classes a day, and then train in the morning and stuff like that down there in the gym. And then same thing, kind of 3 days a week on the bike, and then race on the weekends. So
Well, okay, so you guys stay pretty busy, man. That's awesome that you guys do that, man, and you're giving back to these guys and giving them opportunities to better themselves in the moto, man. That's a wonderful job that you're doing. Now, I know that you gathered up yourself a little race team. You guys went into Florida and you raced the Mini O's. How'd you guys do?
yeah, it was interesting. We had some goals in mind. Lap times were there for everybody. It's just it's a different competitiveness down there. Like doesn't matter first to 20th, they're dying to win. So they do whatever it takes. So yeah, we did great. Jameson was just outside the top 10, got in the top 10 in qualifiers. Same with Bobby Gravel. He just a bit of inconsistency. Same thing. Lap times are within the top 3, top 5, but he had a couple crash incidents. Nothing he could have done. Couple mistakes. He was, got 6th or 7th in one of the qualifiers, I believe, and then just outside the top 10 or just inside the top 10 as well. Both of them ran 3 different classes, so there was a lot of motos going on. And then myself, I wanted to get inside the top 10, but I was 13th and 18th in first motos, and then I had a little incident in Supercross there on my second moto. So ended up breaking my ankle, but cast comes off on the 29th, and then take some time and get back on the bike. But no, I'm happy with how everybody did. Yeah, for sure. It was a learning experience.
Good, good, good. So you went out there and you broke your ankle, but you took the guys out there, so you're kind of forced to stay in the position you were that allow the guys to finish the racing. How tough was that on you?
Yeah, it was interesting. Actually, some of the other riders that were down there that we trained, which was Nick Lemire, his mom actually had an air boot, so I came off the track, knew it was broken right away, and I just threw an air boot on, and I went up to the line with Aiden, and yeah, kind of continued on. But I had Jeff Silver, one of the mechanics that helps us in the summer. He was down at Mini. I was giving us a hand as well. So he actually picked his game up, and which is always on the ball. But he put in a lot of extra effort to give me a hand, and then I ended up watching some of the races. I couldn't really make it to the line. It's a lot of walking. So, but no, it went smooth on our end, and I think on the riders' end too. It was smooth sailing. So Bobby's dad Eric came down, and he was helping on wrench on some of the bikes also. So we had lots of help. So that's for sure.
Good, good. That's good to hear, man. Are you guys planning on making your return again next year?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll be back down next year. Try and work on some things. Which, like I said, we're glad we did the gate drops. Kind of has an idea what we need to do and get accomplished. And yeah, we got a year to do so before back then. So.
Right on. Now, was my next question. You guys, season being over, your cast comes off on the 29th. you're back here in Canada. Um, are you planning on going back to Florida or any of the surrounding states to get any more racing or training done in the off season?
Yeah, we're headed back down January 3rd. Some of us are a little bit. The team, all the race team's going to be back down, and some of our support riders are going back down January 3rd, and then some guys kind of when they can at a week or two at a time. We usually stay at Sunshine State MX in Jasper. There, it's a great facility. Uh, Rob's an awesome dude. Family's great. So, and the track's awesome. Good for training, that's for sure. We're planning on running the Mini-O's series, or Mini-O's, the Winter Am series, which is actually where Mini-O's is held. There's a couple races there. They have two tracks there, Diamondback and Gatorback. So we'll be going down there. We'll be doing Dade City, Okeechobee. There's Orlando MX. I think it's a 5-round series, so we're definitely going to do the last 4. See how we are after a few days of riding. We're not ready, right? We're not going to push the issue, but yeah, just go get some gate drops and get some training done and try and build for 2023.
Now, is that something you're going to be doing also? Or are you going to be mainly focusing on your trainer? Or are you actually going to do some riding and racing yourself while you're down there?
Yeah, basically, I'll be doing more of the training till I get 100%. My body gets back to where it needs to be. I've been doing lots of therapy while I'm home too, so try and get it back, to 100%. And then I'll be riding down there and training, but I don't think I'm going to do too many gate drops. I'm just going to go with till I know I'm ready this time. So yeah.
Okay. Now, you got guys coming into Canada who are not from Canada and guys leaving, down south to train like yourself and Ray's down south. But if guys are coming into Canada from the States or from wherever part and they want to train at your facility, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, either cell number, which is on our Instagram, or send us a DM on Instagram. Um, I'm not all over Facebook or the whole 9 yards. I just try to keep it simple. Or if anybody knows from training here, we try to keep our classes smaller, right? Groups of 8 max, and then that way we can focus more on the riders, and it's not just kind of chaos out there. So just as long as they give us a good heads up, we'll try and see where they fit, and yeah, they can get us a hold of us through Instagram, and then get my number, and we'll chat it up.
Okay. Now, probably my last question for the day. You run this elite training facility, and when you say elite, that's kind of like a strong word. You tend to want to look at like Club MX or the Baker's Factory,
Yeah.
and those guys are fairly elite, top notch. You get a lot of guys. I consider it in a way like the military, right? Where some guys, it's built for those guys. Some guys join the military, kind of get used to it and end up loving it, and some guys just don't like it at all. Where do you feel your training facility sits within those other two?
Yeah, I mean, for U.S. and Canada to compare, it's a little tough, but I want to head, in that direction of 100%. I think in Canada, I keep it very small, simple. Not be able to get away with too much. It's like, we got a tight program. It's very consistent. And I mean, the results are already there. We've took a lot of riders from, back of the pack and made them, to the front of the pack. We've took a lot of, we got a lot of championships this year. I think we got 6 or 7 AMO championships for all our riders. I think I've proven my point. But like I said, I still got a lot to do and a lot I want to do, and every year I'm making it better. But I just find, I keep it simple, keep it tight, and we're more of all like a moto family, but it's just better for training. We don't do like the odd day I'll put on a school, but mostly it's all full-time riders, full-time training. That way we're both committed. We know the results are going to be there. So and with Scott Payton with the gym here too, I think we have all the pieces of the puzzle. We just gotta, which are great, but I want to just keep building on it.
Right on, man. Well, Steve, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your time. It was a pleasure having you on the show. You're welcome back anytime. I know we discussed me coming out to Compound 138 and kind of getting some video of your facilities. I still love to do that when the timing is right. Our timing's just been a little bit off, but
Yep.
we'll definitely make it happen this spring when the weather gets a little bit better and you guys are back in full force.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. That's looking forward to it, and yeah, thanks a lot.
Not a problem. Anytime. And is there anybody you want to send a shout out to? Any plugs before we wrap this up?
Yeah, first and foremost, obviously all the riders that we train and support our program, and continuously, we're trying to do the exact same back. So thanks for that appreciation, and we'll just keep building off it. Next, we got a lot of sponsors that help us out to make this actually possible, get us to the races, help our riders out as much as we can. So yeah, I'd like to thank SRS Motosports, JR Excavating, Southwest, Yamaha Canada, Compound 138, Tyler Silver at CCR. He's going to step up for 2023, and we train his boy as well, so that's pretty cool. Looking forward to it. SRS Detailing, Race Tech, they hook us up big time. And we do all that in-house at SRS Motosports. Joe Deere mechanic, he's the brains of the operation, so he does all the building there, motors as well, everything. Mitch and Tyler at Callis Moto, Anna and Leland at Track 15. We also train their son, Hayden Jameson. I'm sure most people are aware. So Blake at Hall Race Fuel for supplying us with Renegade. He does a good job there. He's a stand-up dude, that's for sure. Brandon at Vision Built Tracks hooks us up big time with all our track work when we're doing changes or bigger jobs. He knows his stuff, and he's right into motocross, obviously, himself and his family. So we've got a long-term relationship there. ProX and Wiseco there, and Woodstock, Sean and Taylor. They're a big part in our program. We use our stuff in all our race bikes, all our shop builds, everything. So, we've had good luck with them. Scott at Bodies by Peyton. He's an unreal trainer, knows, any question out there, he'll answer it without any hesitation. So he also walks the walk and does and talks the talk. So for his age and his lifestyle, man, it's unreal. So Perry at Funnel Web Filters, we tested their filters a couple years ago, and they're top notch. I mean, everyone who purchases one, they usually don't turn back. So we've had good luck with them as well. Garcia at FMF, had a good contract with him for a few years, and that continued into the next year. So we're happy for that. And then Sue at Haber MX Designs. So she does all our shirts like this, our hats, coffee mugs, trophies for AML Racing for Galdi too, graphics, all kinds of things. So wow. Yeah, we got a good list. So
yeah, you got a long list, man. I'm sitting here falling asleep. I feel like my grandmother.
But you don't want to leave anybody out.
Exactly.
Right?
No, you got a good list of sponsors, man. And like I said, I appreciate you coming on to the show, Steve. But one last question. I thought I had one last question. You mentioned bike builds. So if someone's training at your facility and something happens to their bike, you guys got a full-on machine shop where you can do the tear down, do suspension, do motor mods, the whole nine, huh?
Everything, everything. Anything. We have tires, oil, lubricants, callus gear, Alpine Star stuff in stock, lots of Rhino Power stuff, fuel, like your regular accessories, a lot of Yamaha stuff. We could do pretty much anything on a Yamaha, and then regular wear and tear on a few other models. So we can do full motor modifications, race builds, anything, restores. So yeah, our mechanic races and rides himself, so works out pretty good. He's right into it as well. The passion's there on all ends.
Right on, man. You got to stack full house, man, and it's good to see that out of one facility, man. And I just want to congratulate you on your success, even just up until the point where you're at. You said you got a lot to still build, but you're doing good, man. And I'd like to see the rest of those pieces of that puzzle come together for you, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great to hear, and I'm sure it will. We'll just keep putting work and positive energy, and away it goes. So
right on, Steve, man. We'll be in contact with you, man. And I thank you once again for coming on the BlackListed Mx. It was a pleasure having you, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Have a good.
You too.
See you.
All right.